So you want to know the secret to being more productive? Well, we all know there's no such thing as a secret, and there is a system of principles and disciplines to make you more productive, and that's called the 12-week year. Now, why do you use a 12-week year versus an annual plan? Is because 12 months is too long. There's no urgency. And as you have way too much time, many of us would agree, we end up procrastinating and waiting too long to accomplish the things that we know we really needed urgency and should have been working on a lot sooner. So how does the 12-week year work? And as you progress through your levels of performance, this will become the foundation of your operating system. Or if you have another system, that will work too. But the key is that you're operating your business within a system and framework of principles and daily disciplines that do increase productivity. Now we'll talk about it. The first step that you have to take in the 12-week year is embracing the 3 principles. And those 3 principles are accountability, commitment, and greatness in the moment. Accountability is not a consequence. It's ownership. And to be accountable means you are taking ownership of your own goals. So you must be willing to accept this thinking and these beliefs that accountability is not a negative, but something you are seeking. And the most successful business operators and real estate professionals, or let's just call it the top 1%, the number one reason why they hire a performance coach is actually for accountability. That's the gap they feel would help them perform to their level of greatness they know they could be accomplishing and they're not achieving yet. Commitment means keeping promises to yourself. We must keep our commitments. We know that in a world where your emotions and feelings are going to lead you to not want to act, it's your commitments and what you said you were going to do that are the actions each day that will move our business forward. And you're not always going to have a strong desire to act upon those. So this is why we go back to some things regarding having a compelling vision and making sure that you are the type of person who wants to seek things today, knowing they'll get them results in the future. Now, as you start looking at greatness in the moment, this is the ability to basically do things when you're not feeling like doing them. That's the moment of greatness for most real estate professionals that they need to overcome, is that many times I give into my emotions or feelings and those distractions I give into versus doing what I know was within my commitments and my needed actions for the day. So once you've embraced these 3 principles, what we're going to do is follow the 5 disciplines. So we've got 3 basic principles and 5 disciplines. The first one is your vision. Remember, your vision is not just your 1 year, but your 3 year and your 10 year. When you start having a compelling vision of where you want your life to be 10 years from now, 3 years from now, that is something that you read each and every day. So then that way, on any given day, that there may be some distractions or emotions or feelings that you would rather give into, that is what you hold on to make sure you follow through with your commitments. Planning. This is based on your vision. You choose 1 or more specific goals to pursue over the next 12 weeks. So how we're going to create urgency is utilizing a 12-week year. You're going to give each of those actions a deadline. Some of those might be an hour power daily, meaning the due date is daily. Some might be weekly. Some might be monthly. Some might be that you have some marketing materials or a training course you want to accomplish, and you'll give that a specific date. But these are all the activities, all right, or actions underneath those goals that you believe we need to accomplish in any given time period to be able to accomplish that goal. And remember, goal must be something we can measure, a from to aspect, all right? Specific, it's measurable. Now, realistic, we can kind of throw that out the window because some of you have some really big goals that people would say are not realistic, but I'm okay with you. If you believe in them, we will track and measure on a weekly basis to find out how realistic were they. The third one is process control. I'm going to go over a couple things, so make sure you have a pen. Make sure you're writing this down. I'll speak a little slowly. The first part of process control is taking 15 minutes every Monday to plan your week. So right away, you should know throughout the week where are specific strategic blocks? Where are specific hours where you're just going to get kind of email and boring stuff done that really isn't moving your business forward? Where are your other equities that we talked about? The physical, the personal, the meetings that you need to have. So 15 minutes every Monday to plan your week and your schedule. You're going to reread your vision every single morning. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to receive it. But you're going to read this every day. And any given day where you're just not quite feeling it, if this does not compel you to act, you don't have a strong enough vision. The next part is take that personal meeting. We were saying in your morning routine that you need to have a morning meeting with yourself to start thinking about the things that are come up throughout the day that are a part of your actions that maybe you don't want to do. We need to get those done first, right? We need to make sure that those things you talk to yourself about what most likely you're going to say and the emotions you're going to feel so you can get over those right there in that meeting versus giving into them and not delivering upon your commitments. So you're going to take 5 minutes to review your day and see how your actions align with your vision. Then we're going to have a weekly action meeting or weekly accountability meeting, which is a 20-minute Monday morning call where you report your score. This is where you share your challenges, your success, and overall, remember we were saying self-reflection? The greatest form of self-reflection is a measurement or a score of one's actions if we're talking about how to self-reflect in business. Okay. Now, as you start thinking about process control, we're going to move to the next of the 5 components. We need to make sure that we have measurement. So measurement is throughout the week, all those actions and activities, you're going to give yourself a score from 0 to 10 on how much they were accomplished. Let's just say you said you were going to make phone calls for 5 days out of the week. Well, if you only did 4, you got an 8 out of 10. And what will happen is we'll be able to add all these things up. And as you go through your workbook, you'll understand how to score yourself and effectively learn what do you need to be at to be on pace or track so you can see the urgency you need next week towards your 12-week goals. The last one is time use. So as we start thinking about your 3 principles and these 5 disciplines is that the use of your time is going to be very important. And as you have a score and a measurement, you might start considering valuing your time a little bit more to ultimately actually now executing more often than not, which will move your business forward. And time use, most people choose comfort now over payoff later. Remember our mindset, we already prefer and understand that a real estate career takes time. There'll be a massive payoff later. So I'm not going to seek comfort today. And every day is critical to move my business forward. But there's really 3 key time blocks that the 12-week year teaches. And remember, if you're questioning, will this work? We're going to test it. Question it by testing it. There's 3-hour strategic blocks. So your sole goal is to work really hard on any given day for 3 hours. This is getting all the deep work and the things you need done in your business. Producing content, prospecting, following up with leads, going on appointments, asking for appointments, negotiating contracts, overcoming objections, like deep work. Okay. Then you should have 1 or 2 30-minute or 60-minute blocks for email, follow-up phone calls, things that just aren't that important, but we must do to stay organized in our business. And then a 3-hour breakout block once a week. And what this is basically a 3-hour weekly meeting where you're working on all those things we talk about in coaching. Just, okay, I want to revamp my listing presentation. I want to get those slides for my market review. The things that we talk about operationally that we need to do, you need a 3-hour block one time in the week to get that kind of just, breakout work done. So then that way we can get back into that strategic time and that deep work. So welcome to the 12-week year. You have your workbook and materials, but I just wanted to make sure if we're going to talk about an operating system that will help you with execution, that we took 10 minutes or so to walk through why do we use the 12-week year to operate your business, is so then that way you have a system that helps you with time management and productivity. So that way execution is no longer a problem. And if now mindset's not a problem and execution is not a problem, guess what? We get a lifelong time together in developing skill sets, which will take you to each level of performance and be much greater of a business than maybe you personally could have ever imagined. And professionally, I look forward to seeing your vision come true.